special.
Do you know what it takes to be a boss? I don't think you really knowing what it costs. You want the money and the fame just to floss. And if they ever catch you slipping, that's your loss. Cross state lines with it till it flew back. Just move, not checkers, thought you knew that. You ain't earn your stripes, you ain't sacrifice. Wanna gamble with your life, heard take the dice.
What up, y'all? Welcome to Distinguished Gentlemen. I'm your host, Deshaun Marshall, and we are over here talking about style, strength, and characteristics, and also intelligence when it comes to becoming the best version of yourself and being a distinguished gentleman. You feel me? However, we also talk about the game. And the whole point of Distinguished Gentlemen is playing the game to win. And what game are we playing? A game called life. You feel what I'm saying? However, on Distinguished Gentlemen, we use our soft skills, to our advantage so we can achieve the outcome that we aspire to have, which is winning this game called life. And a lot of this stuff is based off of certain rules and how to play them and how not to play them. Sometimes a lot of people put information out here that mislead you, misinform you, and misguide you, or you simply just don't know. And also, sometimes it's being projected upon you to do things a certain way. And that's how you get misguided. You know what I'm saying? So how we break down certain subjects is not from one perspective, but four perspectives. And those four perspectives will help you look at the game at the top of the board from a bird's eye view. So you can have a full understanding and comprehend how to play, so you can win. You know what I'm saying? And what are those four perspectives? We have the law of human nature, which is all about our emotions and the impulsive decisions that we make and why we do the things that we do based off our animal-like instincts. You know what I'm saying? We have the ghost law, which is the things that have an impact on your life that you cannot see. I like to call them the unwritten rules. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of unwritten rules that we can use to our advantage for us to be able to achieve the outcome that we aspire to have. And then we also have the third, which is the Devil's Law. The Devil's Law is achieving our deep desires, however they come at a cost. We all have desires that we have in us. However, sometimes those desires can hurt us and they come at a cost. And then the last but not least, which is the understanding of all phases, is mastery. Knowing when to use these things to your advantage, knowing when not to use these things, and then also knowing when they're being used against you. When somebody else completely understand this, whether that's a positive thing or a negative thing, understand that you're very aware of how the game is being played. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, y'all know your boy. This video will be very long, so there will be timestamps below. So if you want to skip, you can. If you want to come back, check it out later, you can. However, this is informative information. And like how my teacher tells me, in order for you to fully understand and comprehend, you need to take out a pen and a pad and take notes. So it could be something that you know and not something that you've heard. I also want to sit here and say there are three different types that I typically say on how information is being brought to you. You get what I'm saying? You have teachers who teaches you based off of your own learning style. You have instructors who teaches you how to type knowledge, basically the rules to the game, and then on what to do and what not to do. And then you have projectors, which projectors only teaches you from their own personal perspective, their own personal experience. These people typically say the my truths or my experience, or I can only tell you from my perspective because I can't talk about nobody else's perspective. These people use a lot of me, myself, and I words. You get what I'm saying? And if you're looking at this situation from a Venn diagram, obviously, you know, there's the me, myself, and I's. Those are the them, the days, and them, those, and days. You know what I'm saying? And then you have, when you combine these two, you have the we, us, and together. Typically, that's how you can kind of pick up what type time this person is on when they're delivering their information. You feel what I'm saying? The we, us, and together is about basically the benefit of the outcome that you are trying to achieve. You feel me? So I have to be able to set the tone and the foundation, because fundamental stuff is the most important part. That's what you build off of. You know what I'm saying? And when you're going after information, you always want to do the reporter's questions. The who, the what, the when, the where, and the why. And for a bonus, it's a how. And that's how you really digest to comprehend information. We gotta set the tone right. Because again, the goal is for you to be informed and educate, so it's something that you know and not something that you heard. You feel me? So with that being said, let's get into this real quick. Now, let's talk about something real quick. Your boy, I came in this mug clean, obviously. You know, I'm a simplistic type of guy. I like the essential type look. I don't like the big name brand type stuff. You get what I'm saying? So for my personal style, when I'm dressed down, you're gonna see simple, clean white tee, color tee, whatever. You know what I'm saying? To add type style in there. Well, fashion is essential. My style, I'll throw a hat on with some jewelry on to complement either my skin or what I got on. You get what I'm saying? Obviously, I got the Atlanta braids hat on. I got a watch on. Got some accessories for rings. And then I also got my herringbone chain, old school. You know what I'm saying? I was born in the 90s. I like to keep that feel to me. You get what I'm saying? In a plain t-shirt. But not only do I look good personally, because I got to affirm myself. I think I do look good. You know what I'm saying? I know I look good. But I feel good in the act of icing on the cake. I smell good too. So I want to start doing this thing for you guys. When it comes to colognes, I want to start from the bottom, affordable colognes, all the way to the top, where more expensive colognes. However, price tag does not necessarily mean quality. And if you've really been paying attention to what's been going on social media, there has been a lot of dupes that are coming out to compete with those high ticket price type of colognes. Same ingredients, different price tag. So with that being said, I'm gonna start from my bottom, work my way to the top. Once I get to the point where either somebody sponsor me, that's when I'm gonna stop doing this. But hopefully, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna still put y'all on game and give y'all honest reviews. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I got this cologne right here. You got different levels of cologne. You got everyday use cologne, you got summer colognes, you got winter colognes, you got colognes that you go out at night colognes, and then you got that panty dropper cologne. This cologne right here, man, it's called 9 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. This right here is the panty dropper. Fool blast. The panty dropper, you get what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person that hold the game against you. I'm gonna give you the game. Obviously, you're not gonna beat me. You get what I'm saying? And if I'm really giving you game, gentlemen, if you can take my girl, that means she was never mine. Respectfully, you can do what you do. You feel me? I can give you all of the game that I want to give, and no matter what you do or say, if it was meant for me, it was meant to be. If she was gone, she was not meant for me. So I'm gonna give you this. 9 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. 9 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. The panty dropper. This that top dog, and the price tag is amazing. You know what I'm saying? The link's in the description below if you want to go try this out. It's a very fruity, very clean, very crisp, very bro. Top tier, bro. I'm telling you. Top tier. Get you some. Again, if your girl was meant to be taken, if she got took, that means she was meant to be taken. If your girl got took, she was meant to be taken. No man should come in between what you and your girl got going on. Charge her to the game if she got took. The game is the game, big fella. This right here is gonna take your experience from mediocre to top tier. From rags to riches. From out to in, big fella. Get you some. So let me show you guys how I actually put on cologne, because I see a lot of people put on cologne, and the way that they put on cologne, it actually kind of goes against what they're trying to achieve. Meaning you want to smell your cologne, you want to make sure that you smell good. However, the way you place your cologne can actually get you to the point where you get numb to smelling your cologne. It's still on you, however, you can't smell it. So let me show you the proper way of how to put on cologne. I'm gonna first start off with the nose zone. The nose zone is from your neck, the front of your neck, all the way to the top of the bottom part of your chest. From top of your neck to the bottom part of your chest. And the width of it is the outside of your chest. The reason why this is the nose zone is because anything that's right here for a long period of time, over time your body will get used to that smell and you can't smell it no more, right? So we want to put it in the zones where you can actually smell it. So the zones that you actually smell is on your wrist, spray here, don't rub. Just let it dry out. Another zone that you want to spray it on is shoulder and shoulder. So every time you turn, you get what I'm saying, you can always smell it. The same way with your wrist. When you go shake somebody's hand, that smell will be thrown towards them. They're going, you smell nice, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to a man. You shake a man's hand, you look him in the eye, and next thing you know, that smell is gonna hit him. Let him know what type of tone you on, you know what I'm saying? Respect me, you feel me? Also, spray behind the neck, right? Right here. So spray. The reason why you spray behind the neck, you know what I'm saying, is because when you get close encounters with hugs, the nose lay actually on the neck or real close to the neck, especially with you and your girl, you know what I'm saying? The nose right here, the mouth right here, if you spray within the nose zone, she gonna kiss it and taste your cologne. No, baby, I want your nose to be touching that neck and kiss your mouth right here so you can keep, damn, baby, you smell good. You smell good. You smell good. They smell, oh my God, what is that? The drawers is dropping. What is that? The panties is wet. Lord, have mercy. So you spray it behind the neck, you feel what I'm saying? So she can always smell it. And then you have the top of the abs and then the lower part of the abs. The reason why you spray this here is just in case if you get X-rated, you want to go down there, you know what I'm saying? Hey. But nah, that's just a part of the body, you know what I'm saying? You spray it on the body, and depending on the level or of intensity of your cologne, you layer your cologne. The lower the level, the more you should layer, in my opinion. That's just how it lasts the longest. The higher intensity of the cologne, you typically don't have to layer it because it lasts longer. You get what I'm saying? So if you're layering it because of the intensity of your cologne is low, you go skin first, beater second, shirt third, and if you're wearing a jacket type stuff, you can kind of like spray it away on your jacket. You know what I'm saying? Just in case. But that's how you typically would put on cologne for it to last a pretty long time. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to put you on game when it came to this, because, yeah, man, at 9 p.m. solid. All right, so now that we got all of that stuff taken care of, let's talk about the real subject that we're going to talk about. And today we're talking about parenting. And I know this is going to be a hard conversation to have, however, we need to have it. Because a lot of people be asking, why can't people work together? Why are certain people high achievers and other people are not high achievers? Why is the comprehension level so low? Or why certain people can't comprehend certain things? Why do people suck in relationships and don't show up in relationships? Why are people overly traumatized when it comes to just life in general. You get what I'm saying? And that typically comes from parenting. We all understand this. If I was to tell you to raise your hand and ask you, do you want to be like your parent? This is a conversation that you need to have, because if you don't raise your hand, then obviously your parents impacted you a certain way where it was negative. But if you raise your hand and you say, yes, there are some people out here who wants to be like their parents and better. You get what I'm saying? That means that those parents did a good job or a positive job because they had a positive impact on their children. You get what I'm saying? And you can ask yourself that question. Do you want to be like your parents? Yes or no? Okay, cool. Now let's talk about the level of parenting so your children can be either like you or how your children will ultimately not want to be like you. You get what I'm saying? So, with that being said, we're going to talk about 3 different perspectives, but I'm going to add a bonus to it too. You have active parents, you have inactive parents, you have absent parents, right? Now, let's talk about parenting before we get deep into these 3 subjects. Let's talk about the foundation of parenting, right? And when it comes to development of children. Typically, you have male and female, typically. The women are supposed to teach soft skills. The men are supposed to teach hard skills. Within this home, they're teaching their children these skills so they can become very high achieving adults as they get older. They need both of these skill sets, soft skills, hard skills. When is the right time to teach your children these hard skills? It's a very broad spectrum, but I'm going to give you the formula behind the studies. From 0 through 3, you have when both parents are important, they're teaching their child self-awareness of their body and environment, right? This is when you teach your child how to hold their head up, how to walk, how to talk, how to be able to potty train them about their own specific body. Everything is about that child specifically. The nutrients come from the mother. You get what I'm saying? The father teaches them how to be able to do things and vice versa. You get what I'm saying? Both parents' roles are very important to the self-awareness of that child. That's from 0 through 3, right? From 4 to 6, this is when soft skills are super key. This is the mother's role. This is the important time that the mother has a big impact on that child's development. However, you get what I'm saying? The father can come into this play as well because he will implement these soft skills even when the mother is leading with the soft skills, right? This is when you learn hygiene. This is when you learn how to properly communicate. This is when you learn how to properly negotiate. This is when you learn how to sit here and take care of the little things that's going to have a big impact on your life in the future, your character traits. You get what I'm saying? Then you roll over into the hard skills. This is from 7 through 9. This is the importance of a father. This is when you learn how to compete. This is also when you learn self-esteem. This is also when you learn for every cause there's an effect. For every action there's an equal reaction. This is also when you get punished the most. Because you have to learn from your actions, they have consequences, right? So from 7 through 9, this is when you teach these skill sets. And then from 10 through 12, this is where you put both of those skill sets together and you get feedback. Most of the time, you're typically putting your child in a competitive sport, or they're starting to become around more of their peers. You get what I'm saying? This is with the importance of getting feedback from hard skills and soft skills come into play. Competitive sports is a great example of putting them in so they can actually learn what to do, what not to do. And then once they turn 13, 14, the cycle repeats. Next thing you know, you're not the teacher no more. As a parent, you're not the teacher no more. Your parents are not the teacher of you no more. Society is now your teacher. And you have to re-implement these self-awareness because now you're away from your parents. You got to use your soft skills. And you got to use your hard skills to be able to build great relationships with your peers, and you get results behind these things, right? I laid that foundation because that's very important to the development of children. If you're not self-aware of when to implement these things, you will not set your children up for success. If you don't have these specific soft skills, how can you teach what you don't know? And if you don't give these soft skills at all, then how will your children be able to have these soft skills for when it's time to move over into the real world, they're going to use them? They can't. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, now we have that, let's get into active parents. Active parents typically are very intentional about trying to find a good partner. Now, some people's foundation is based off of love. Some people's foundations is based off finances. Some people's foundations is based off of actually wanting to have children. Whatever it is, these active parents are intentional parents. These are the parents who give their children the game. These are the parents who set their children up for success directly. They're intentional about why they do what they do. You get what I'm saying? Understand that most of us are wanting to be in this category. However, these parents also have healthy relationships with their parents, or they have a healthy relationship with their spouse. So they typically stay together. These are the parents that last the longest. However, sometimes if these parents don't work out, they're still active within their child's life. You know what I'm saying? Most people are going to try to put themselves in this category. However, if you don't have all of the skills that I just named, you are not in this category. If you're not trying to set your children up with the skills that I just named, you're not in this category. If you're not telling the truth when it comes to the game, fathers giving the game to their daughters, that they need to also know how to treat men while being told they need to know how a man's supposed to treat them, you're not an active father. You're an inactive father. You're halfway developed. You get what I'm saying? This is where mothers typically teach their daughters soft skills on how to be able to talk to a man. I did a review video where the girl was saying basically she don't know how to compliment a man without it being non-sexual. Your mother's supposed to be able to put you on game about that. How to sweet talk a man. How to be able to make a man feel like he is aristocratic whole time you full blown in control. Because indirectly he would tell you, give you what you want if you kind of like make him believe that he made that decision. You know what, babe? That's you. You know what I'm saying? I just think that it's this, and the third. Matter of fact, I'll implement a video right here. This is where you learn how to be able to use this stuff to your advantage, right? Same way with men when it comes to providers. You're an active parent or in a relationship, you typically want to provide. You typically want to have all of this type of stuff in order to be able to create a safe space for your wife, to create a safe space for your children. You know what I'm saying? You're intentional about everything that you do. From both parents, mother and father. Let's go over to the inactive parent. The inactive parent is the parent who is the one who you're halfway there. You got one foot in, one foot out. You typically made an impulsive decision when it came to having children. You typically are in and out of relationships. You know what I'm saying? You're typically trying to still live your personal life after still having children. And I'm not saying that in a way where you don't have your own life. What I'm saying is you basically in competition with your kids. Whether you want to go out knowing that you got responsibility to take care of your kids. Your responsibilities for your kids are not taken care of, but you still want to go out and go do your thing. You lack priority. You don't prioritize properly. You're not even intentional about setting your children up for success. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, I gotta wing it. I can only teach you what I know. I don't teach what I don't know. So you're one foot in, one foot out. Most children, most of us come from inactive parents. Single homes or parents who's going in and out of relationships. You get what I'm saying? That typically runs into the fact that you probably didn't come from intentional parents, or your parents didn't put you on game. So the way you do one thing is the way you do all things. That's a hereditary thing. You get what I'm saying? When it comes down to that, that's what typically roll over into now you are starting to have children and you're now becoming an inactive parent. You know what I'm saying? You're not fully developed when it comes to hard skills as a man. You're not fully developed when it comes to soft skills as a man, as a woman, excuse me. So this is where fathers typically overdo their sons when it comes to either competition, or they don't teach them about competition at all, and those sons become more emotional. Their daughters, what fathers do is overspoil their children, their daughters, and try to tell their daughters, don't let a man use you for nothing, this, and the third, but don't give them the other side of the game where you need to learn how to be able to talk to a man. You also need to learn how to be able to respect a man. You also need to be able to understand that you as a woman are not stronger than a man physically. So why put him in a situation where he have to physically try to harm you with your mouth? You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to look out for men who are very aware of themselves, because he's going to ultimately roll that awareness over to you, making you aware of yourself, versus you trying to control the man, and now you're in relationships with men who are not aware of themselves, and now you're hurting yourself because now you're trying to fix a man who's not aware of himself. Fathers typically set their daughters up for failure when it comes to understanding men, when it comes to inactive fathers. Inactive mothers, when it comes to their daughters, are in competition with their daughters because they can't even keep a relationship themselves. They don't know how to teach soft skills. They don't teach you some soft skills. They don't teach you how to be able to use your soft skills to your advantage. They only teach you the soft skills to benefit themselves. You get what I'm saying? Most of the time, when it comes to that type of information, that's a hard pill to swallow. This is where we get I was traumatized because you gonna do as I say and do what I tell you to do and don't question me with no explanation. This is inactive parents. They tell you what to do, but they don't explain why they're telling you what to do. They tell you need the good grades, but they never reward you behind getting good grades. They tell you a process to get you to behave a certain way, but they don't reward you, or they don't affirm you, but they don't show you affection. This is what that is. They typically try to hide that because they are also hurting themselves. You get what I'm saying? Whether that's a father or a mother, they typically are trying to hide this stuff, or they overdo in an area because they're still trying to hide things. They're not being honest about things. If they can't afford it, they just gonna try to shield it with this, brush you off. Hey, go outside. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to talk to you right now. You get what I'm saying? They can't control their emotions, their impulsiveness. You know what I'm saying? That's that. And then you have absent parents. Obviously, everything that I said when it comes to development, whether you have developed or fully developed, it's all gone. Children know nothing. They don't know hard skills. They don't know no soft skills. They have a hard time understanding either one of those. You know what I'm saying? They get this type of information from the world. Once they go out into the world, they don't have no safe space to mess up. They gotta actually learn from their own personal mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's better for the child, depending on the type of parent. If you have an abusive parent, it's better for you not to just be there. It might hurt that kid immediately, but in the long run, type of parent you are, or the type of parents you had, it might have been better for them to actually be away from you. Because the people you might run into might actually put you on game more than your parents would. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you gotta also look at some of these skills as absent. You didn't develop the skill because nobody taught you. So you fall in the absent category. Nobody taught you how to wash your ass. So now you don't know how to properly wash your ass. Nobody taught you how to properly communicate. So now you are in the absent category. You get what I'm saying? When it comes to communication. You're not developed at all at it. At all at it. Like, you can be halfway developed and kind of understand, like, all right, you just don't know how to use it to your advantage. But when it comes to you not knowing how to do it completely, yeah, this is where the absent side of a parent come into play. This is where the effect of a halfway, 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of parent. You get what I'm saying? That affects you in this area. So then we finally experience somebody who was active in their life, you give them pushback, because it's like they teaching you a skill that you ain't never had to practice. So you naturally will give them pushback, and they looking at you like, why don't you know this? And you looking at them, well, you think you better than me? You see how that come together? You see how it conflict? Things are conflicting. Oh, wait, you don't know this skill. That's all I know. I know how to communicate my feelings. You don't know how to talk about your feelings. We have a problem. Then you have the kid that's in the middle who, okay, I know how to talk about my feelings, but I don't go too deep. I'm a little bit scared of being vulnerable because I was told a little bit about this, half truths about this, half truths about that, versus a kid who's like, look, this is what it is. This is what it's not. You hurt my feelings. I can express that. Well, you hurt my feelings, but you get what I'm saying? You just don't know based off the development. If you don't have it, you can't teach what you don't have. And that shit ultimately rolls over and hurt you. You get what I'm saying? All right, so I know that this video was really long. However, I had to be able to show you guys a demonstration, a hands-on experiment for you guys to comprehend exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us were raised with unintentional or inactive parents or absent parents, and we don't realize how impactful that really is to the development of ourselves when it comes to being a valuable citizen or being a highly, how can I say this? Not even a highly paid, you know what I'm saying? A game changer when it comes to this game called life. You feel what I'm saying? To have a huge impact in this world, to become a 5%er and whatnot, and not be a part of the 95. That's all comes from parenting. So again, I know this is a hard pill to swallow, but I don't want you to think that I'm projecting. There's a gentleman named John Browne who he has 3 sons, and 3 sons in total. 2 sons in the NFL, 3 sons that went to a Division I college football. You know what I'm saying? That's high, the top of the top, the cream of the crop. And then to go even further and become professionals, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, this gentleman was doing something right, but he was very intentional about everything that he do, everything that he did from his life, from being a bodybuilder, developing those skills, that mindset, that discipline, and ultimately rolling it over and pouring those skills within his children, whether they knew what they were doing or not. It already started young. You get what I'm saying? It was intentional about it. There's also another lady that I came across just scrolling through social media, where she was intentionally teaching her child how to tumble in that very, very early stage. And as you see the progression in the video, she's progressing and getting better and better and better and better at flipping. That's just flipping, you know what I'm saying? Just imagine what else is being developed in these children with intentional parents, you know what I'm saying? And you can see the outcome of these children based off of what their parents was instilling them at a very early age, you know? So I really want you guys to understand and comprehend a lot of this stuff stem from our parents, and then a lot of their behavior stem from their parents. And this is why learning your history and learning your lineage of who you come from and why you do the things that you do is super important, because if it gives you a negative outcome, you need to understand where it comes from and how to be able to change that behavior. And also a positive outcome, so you can affirm the behavior and continue to grow and get better and better at that said thing that you are doing. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, let me break it down to you from the 4 perspectives. The first perspective we're going to talk about is human nature. We as humans are habitual creatures, meaning we don't do things one time. Once we see something, we typically do it again because we move off of patterns. And once we get rewarded for these patterns, we will do it over again, expecting that same type of reward, if not a bigger reward. You get what I'm saying? Whether that's positive or negative, that's how we get stuck into routines. You need to be aware of this because we're all a part of this habitual act. These things that can lead us down a positive path or a negative path. Again, the book that I will refer you guys to when it comes to understanding this is The Power of Habit. And if you want to understand how, from a molecular standpoint, from a neuroscientific standpoint, read The Molecule of More. It explains it from that perspective. But we all are a part of this. You know what I'm saying? The ghost law. The ghost law in this situation is the things that have an impact on your life that you do not see, positive or negative. There is something out here that wants you to create a negative response. They're getting rewarded behind it. They want you to be unintentional. And you fall for it because you're being influenced to be unintentional. Because you're getting a dopamine hit behind the behavior that you're doing, which leads you down a negative or destructive path based off of the outcome that you desire to have. And we specifically talking about children. So when it comes to developing those children, if you're not intentionally developing yourself, there's something affirming you to not be intentional based off of your emotions and based off of your biased behavior. You know what I'm saying? Based off of your mindset and how you view things, there's something out there that's going to say, you know what? You're right. And that's going to affirm you to continue to go down the path that you're that's going to affirm you to continue to go down the path that you are on, if that's negative. And also vice versa. The ghost law within this is, people telling you you're doing a good job when you're actually doing something to better yourself, practicing at said subject, which you know that works. Continuing to keep those people around you that encourage you to keep going. That's how you use the ghost law to your advantage. Watch things that's gonna make you want to continue to do it. For example, if you're working out, why not watch workout videos? It encourages you to keep going. Why not continue to digest these things to affirm your behavior? Because you can go left or right on either digestion, but that is marketing to your subconscious mind to get you to behave and move and act and believe a certain way. You get what I'm saying? So that's the ghost law in this situation when you have intentional parenting, unintentional, and then absent parenting. You know what I'm saying? The devil's law in this situation. The devil's law is, I get to take advantage of you. Now, let me not say I. The devil's law is, your desires will be met and it will come at a cost. Meaning, there are subcategories for you based off of your level of development. You have lower class, middle class, upper class, right? In each of these classes, you will get affirmed based off your behavior, no matter what you do. These classes were designed for you to be right based off your own personal mindset. You get what I'm saying? However, they come at a cost. Each class comes at a cost. So the question becomes, what class do you want to be a part of? You know what I'm saying? Lower class, obviously, it clearly shows that you lack development. You lack certain skills. Middle class, you have half skills. Upper class, you are the peak or the cream of the crop of said skill because you're getting profit behind it. However, what did it cost you to become that? And what is it costing you to stay at the bottom? Or what is it costing you to maintain what you already have? You know what I'm saying? There's sacrifices in both of these, and all three of these. However, one comes now One is actually it within the process of you, and then one is delayed. You get what I'm saying? You gotta be able to be aware of this, because at the same time, everything comes at a cost. No matter what you want, it comes at a cost. If you want to be an active parent, it comes at a cost. You have to unlearn and relearn. Keep the things that work, get rid of the things that don't. If you are in the inactive parent, it comes at a cost. Your children will be halfway developed. Now they are being taken advantage of the skills that they did not develop. They're getting beat by the people who have those skills. Now, we're not talking about willpower, we're not talking about passion, we're not talking about none of those things. We're just talking about the development of what you are instilling within your children. And then obviously, if you choose to be absent, or if you grew up with an absent parent, you know what that feel like. You also know the results of that. You lack some skills that you need, you know what I'm saying? So this is where we roll over into mastery. Now that you fully comprehend and understand exactly what it is, now the choice is yours. The choice falls under your hands. What are the things that you want to do based off of, or become, or have for your children, so you can actually put pen to paper and put action to the plan. You get what I'm saying? What gets measured gets accomplished. If you get a failing grade, that means you're doing something wrong based off the outcome that you want. If you get a mediocre grade, that means you need to go back and continue to practice, continue to learn, continue to work at it. You'll get better at it. And if you're getting a passing grade, you know what I'm saying? Keep going. Good job. You feel me? Get rid of the things that don't work and keep the things that do work. It's a cycle. You can develop, no matter what skill it is, you can have it. You just gotta learn your learning style and develop yourself as much as possible to give it away to your next generation. And if your children are already here, you might want to be able to develop yourself on your off time. Develop yourself and give them to your children. If your children is between that 1 to 13 gap, man, come on. You still got time. If they between that 14 on up, they gotta live life. And you drop nuggets. Now you gotta start planting seeds. They're in the phase of life where their peers are now their teachers, their peers are now their parents. And hopefully everything that you gave them between 0 through 13 will sprout to bear great fruit. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Just so you know that it's not me talking, or I'm not projecting. I'm gonna leave y'all with a video by John Browne for him to be able to say exactly what I just said. Right? Let's finish it up.
There's no such thing as lazy kids, there's only lazy parents. That's very important to understand. The only lazy mom and dad is lazy. Ain't no lazy kids, lazy mom and daddy, okay? We're in Pop Warner. I find a camp. I'm living in Orange County, which is about 40 minutes from Compton. Compton's a rough neighborhood. We live in the suburbs. My kids were like 5, 6, and 7. But I found a camp in Compton every Sunday. Every Sunday we went to go run with them kids.
Why was it important that they play in Compton?
Because they're gonna get rough. You can't be light-skinned. Light-skinned dudes, we should take their money. They have and have light-skinned, I gotta be careful with that, you know? Where I came from, we took Keith Terrell's money in the morning. Joseph Holmes, we took their money in the morning. Hey, Joseph, buy me something to eat. The dark-skinned guys gonna beat up on light-skinned guys. So I gotta make sure they tough. I don't wanna be like El DeBarge or the Jacksons or something, you know? So I had to make sure of that, right? So we went there. The thing is, I said, look, we're going. At least 3 or 4 parents would call, John, aren't you going to that camp in Compton tomorrow? Yes. Can you pick up Bobby, or can you pick up so-and-so? I go, no, man, you got to take your own kid.
Take your own kids, you got to carry your own weight.
We went. Hey, John, you're lifting weights with your kids. Can we come lift weights with you?
And when they say we, it's just like they just want to drop their kids off.
Yes, see? Lazy mom and daddy. My kids are not super kids where they're waking up in the morning going, hey, Papa, let's go to the gym. Papa, let's go work out. No, that's normal. They don't say it. They're kids. Even if they complain, okay, they're kids. You make them go. No such thing as lazy.
So yeah, man, with that being said, I just had to close it out with y'all to let y'all know. This is the gentleman who has 2 children in the NFL, and 3 of them went Division I. The ratio behind that, to get your children to a 1% chance of making it, and you got 2, for 3 children, all 3 children to go to a Division I school, obviously, you know what I'm saying? What he's saying has some truth in it, you know? But I'm just here to pass on the message because we gotta figure out, we gotta talk about it, and we also gotta apply it so we can get a fantastic result behind it, and then repeat the cycle. Learn how to be able to duplicate yourself. And that's how you do it, you feel me? So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, man. I know this video was very, 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 very long. However, I'm not here to entertain you. More so, I'm just here to educate you. So now you have the ability to choose. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna close it out with this. Together we stand, divided we fall. I'm gonna see y'all on the next episode. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.